Gold's price movements can be wild, but can a simple, straightforward strategy marking out the daily highs and daily low actually work? In this video, we are going to be testing this particular strategy using historical data, and then with the replay button, we're going to forward test that strategy and see if it's profitable or not. But first, we need to show you what the strategy looks like. So I have cherry picked one example. So you can see that I've marked out the previous day high and the previous day low. Now over to the 5-minute chart, I'm going to wait for the price to break below the previous day low and then see if it reverses back into the previous day low. Let's see what happens. You can see that price is now here. So all we are going to do now is very simply, we will place an entry and a stop loss below here, and we're going to be aiming for a 3-to-1 reward to risk. The stop loss is placed below a structural low or a candle low. In this case, you can see one candle came out and then we reverse. So let's see what happens. Does it stop us out or does it hit TP? And in this case, we of course hit TP. Can we replicate this on our backtest? And can it help us pass any particular prop firm challenge that we are taking where we want to get funded? Let's find out together. So I want to of course make sure all of this is random and I'm not just picking the best ones. So if we were to start this strategy back in November, how would have it performed? Let's take a look together. So first I want to mark out the previous day low and previous day high. Let's see what happened. So currently this is the previous day high and low, and this is the current day. And in this case, we already have missed our entry point, and you may consider this to have been an entry, but we're going to be mechanical. We are not going to be just entering based on a cherry-picked entry. We missed it, we move on to the next one. So we will forward this up until we get towards the next day, which is about now. So we're going to do the exact same thing, mark the previous day low and the previous day high, and then we are going to label it, and we will just wait for price to break down, which it has. You can see price broke down, close, price broke down, close, but we haven't had a reversal yet, so we wait for that to play out. And we're still waiting. Perfect. So we've got our reversal there, and we are going to be hitting a long position, and then we will place our stop loss below this structural low here, and then we're going to aim for a 3-to-1 reward to risk. This is what it looks like. Now you may or may not know about this on TradingView, but you can actually use the replay function to place trades. So I'm going to be placing a trade, and then I'm going to be placing my stop loss where I've just placed it, and you can see the risk is $1,246. Now 1% is for a 200k account, so let's try and get that to 2k for a 200k account. And all I'm doing is just using this function to change that amount to 200k. There you go. Sorry, change this to 2000 for a 200k account, which is 1%. And then I'm going to be aiming my TP close enough, 6k. So this will be a nice way for us to track how we are doing if it was to be real money. Let's see. We instantly go into profit. You can see we are still in profit. And one of the functions that I would like to add, or may add if it was a real account, is once price hits a certain point, move the stop loss to break even. But in this case, had I moved my stop loss earlier, that may have meant my stop loss being hit at break even. So let's see, if it were to reach 2 to 1, which is about there, if price reaches about there, I'll move my stop loss to break even, and let's see what happens. Okay, now that we are a reward risk 2 to 1, we will now move our stop loss to break even, which is that, moving this up, which looks like that, just a little bit higher. Now that it's at break even, I'm just going to move it a bit higher so that we can actually see the dollar amount. I'm just going to leave it about there just so we can see the actual dollar amount, because if I move it any lower, we won't be able to see that amount. So just leave it there, so just so we can see it. And let's let this ride out. Are we going to get stopped out? And in this case, we did get stopped out. So it goes to show that we may take break-even trade, which is fine, but let's see, do we hit TP? In this case, we do actually hit TP in the end if we hadn't taken a break-even trade. No problem. We're not exactly in a loss or a minus at the moment. We're actually up by a bit. So let's move on to the next day and see what happens. Okay, we are waiting for the next day. Now the next day has appeared, and we are now going to wait for either the high or the low to be taken. Okay, it looks like it's going for the low. Ooh, it's going for the high, and it's only one trade per day. That's all we are heading towards. Okay, and you can see very clearly that price broke well down, and I'm just going to wait for price to see if it comes back up or not. Okay, price has decided to come up. Okay, so price is above there. Now, because the swing is so low and it's pulled back up so much, this may well be a low probability setup, and the stop loss will most likely need to be down here. But nevertheless, let's go for it. Let's place our stop loss below there and see how it plays out. I'm just going to try to be mechanical because that stop loss is way too high, and we're going to go for a 2 to 1 risk to reward because it's a high setup. Let's just increase the quantity. Okay, just so it reflects 2k. There you go, that's 2k. And we're going to go for a 2 to 1 reward to risk because of the fact that it's the candle range is it's quite far out. So we aim for that previous day high, and we go for a 2 to 1, which is 4k. And let's see what happens. Do we get stopped out, or does it carry on going up? We're about to get stopped out, I think. No, we're okay. Okay, we got stopped out. That's fine. So we are down now 1900 at the moment. Let's move on to the next trade. Okay, price completely fell. Okay, we wait for the next day. Okay, there you have it. So we mark out the high, we mark out the low, and we just wait. Okay, so close below, didn't quite break up, so we wait. Perfect. Okay, so now we are going to enter that trade. We are going to place our stop loss, could be under that candle. I'm just going to place it just under here, and then we will aim for a 3 to 1. But first we want to make sure that price for the stop loss is at 2k because we are risking 1% of the account. There you go, close enough. And then we are going to be aiming for a 3 to 1, really close enough to about 6k. give or take. Let's see what happens. Do we win this one or do we lose this one? Okay. So far we do get into some decent profit. We are up, so we've come out of that 1900 loss. Some users, people that are using this at this point might decide, you know what, I'm just going to book my profit because I want to recover that loss and move on. So let's see how that plays out. Okay, we are still trying to climb up higher. We hit TP. Brilliant. So now we are up 4.169k. Let's move on to the next day and see what actually happens. Again, in terms of day wise, we are at 7th of November so far, and I'm just going to carry on. I'm going to carry on all the way and see how profitable this is to today's day. So we carry on, waiting for that. There you go. We got the next day finally, and so we'll carry on up until either December, or we try and hit that 10% profit margin, which will help us pass the funded challenge. So let's see how long it takes for us to do that. So right now we've got price opening up, you can see on the daily, and can it take this high and then fall back down or not? Let's see. So price is, let me just do a play as. Okay, nothing happening so far, and there will be days where I think that we will end up taking no trades. So we are in the London session. We're waiting for this to New York session. Even on the New York session, it didn't get to our high. Up until it hits a high, we're not going to take any trades. Now we are in the Asian session. So for this particular day, there was no trade. So we now move over and make the day that we didn't trade as our previous day, which was here. And we are now waiting for price to break back above. Let's see if it does that. Doesn't do that. London session still falling below. Looks like today will be another day that we're not trading. So it's coming towards 8 o'clock and the new day started. Again, 2 days in a row we haven't traded, which is fine because we're still sitting on the positive. So we carry on. Okay, so just going to take this back because we want to be mechanical. Okay, so we broke below and we came back in. I moved the foretest too quickly, so I missed this, but this would have been an entry that we would have taken, and we obviously know this turns out to be a loss, but I'm going to take it anyway because I want to be as fair as possible. Put that at 2k, that down by 10. Yeah, that's 2k, and we would be aiming for 6k if that was the case. And you can see, you already know anyway because we got stopped out. So 2 days we didn't trade, and the third day when we did trade we got stopped out. So current balance is now sitting at it should have taken into account the 4k. We should be sitting at 2k, but for some reason systems just completely wiped it. Cool, no worries. Let's see. Anyway, we carry on. Move over to the following day. We are now on the following day. Okay, and we wait. London session, New York session. Cool. So New York session here. See, price broke below, closed up. This would have been another valid entry there. Stop loss below. Let's see. Put it to 1% again. And then we would have aimed for 6k. But you already know this turned out to be a loss. And I'm just making sure that even though I skipped the price too quickly, I be as fair as possible. So right now I am down 4k. Doesn't look like it's working so far, is it? But we will carry on. Don't worry. Because maximum drawdown on a funded account or any account is like 10% anyway. So we are pretty close. We're not even close, sorry. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. So we are now on the next day. Have it. And we will now wait for the price to break above here. We would have actually entered. Would have entered here. I skipped a bit too quickly. Would have entered there. So put our stop loss there. Entry. Stop loss below this kind of low. And we aim for a. Gonna move it down a little bit just so I can hit the 2k mark. There you go. And then we aim for a to resist 3 to 1. So let's see what happens. Price stops us out. Yep, that's fine. Stopped us out. We are now at 6k down, but we will carry on. We won't stop. We move on because this is real time. Imagine you picking up a strategy on YouTube and it shows to be very profitable, but when it comes to testing on really on live, you end up with this situation. So this is what we are doing. We are actually checking the validity of this strategy on gold. It may be completely different on other assets, but so far on gold we are minus 6k. So let's continue up until the new day starts. London session, we are still in the all day. Okay, there you go. We got the new day now. Let's mark these up. Daily high and the daily low. Okay, at this point, what do a lot of traders do? They see this many losses. You know, we had 2 days of no trading, and then the following days we traded, we had losses and we're down minus 6k. Yeah, what do? They strategy hop, and they don't give the strategy enough room to be profitable or not. Because at this moment in time, all it would take us is one trade to hit TP, and we will be back up to break even. Let's see what happens. Waiting. The no entry. We're in the Asia session, which means that's a new day. We're just going to move this across. And we just wait for the high or the low to be taken. Okay, high has been taken. But we wait for the push back down, which hasn't happened yet. Let's see if it happens. Nope, it doesn't give us, which is fine. Okay, so nothing as of yet. And we move on to the next day because there's literally nothing there to enter. Okay, now we're on the next day. Okay, what happened here? Did price come back down? Yes, it did. We're gonna make sure we enter it. You can see price. We would have entered on this one actually, because you see price had a close underneath there. So take the sell, put the stop loss above the high here, and make sure that we get the 1% risk, and then we aim for a 3-2-1, which is about there. Let's see what happens. Instantly in profit. We go up 2.5k. Price has come back, and it stops us out again. Okay, now we're down 8k. So far I've noticed that we go into a profit, but then price reverses, and then it continues. So if we were to just take this as a 1-to-1 reward to risk, what would it be? Yeah, we would definitely hit it. It seems like 1-to-1 we would hit it. Let's move on to the next day now. We wait for the next day. Okay. Carry on. Going on. There you go. And we wait. Let's wait. Okay. We got the break above, but we didn't get a close. We got a wick rejection. We just need to wait for the close. Is that the close? Yes, that's the close. So sell, stop loss above this high, and then we go for the usual again. There you go. That's a 3-to-1. Let's see what happens. Went in a bit of profit. Now we're up 2.4, 1.768, 1-to-1. Easily achieves this strategy, achieves the 1-to-1 easily. And we are about to, I think, get stopped out. That's fine. We're stopped out. Now we're down 10k. So at this moment in time, if this was a funded account, we are halfway already to potentially losing that funded account. But this is all about testing, and we are now at 20th of November. Let's now move on to the following day and see what happens. And you can see price did finally at the end move down, but it doesn't matter because we got stopped out. We went to the next day. Okay, next day's here. Okay. So let's move on. Now we are at an entry point. Brilliant. We are now going to put stop loss above the high there, and we're going to go for a 3-to-1 reward to risk. Just reduce the amount. Sorry, reduce that down to close to 2k. That's fine. 6k. We're gonna get stopped out, or will we make some profit? And so far we got stopped out again, so now we're down 12. So really we've got another 4 more trades before the funded account challenge will be done. So far on XAU, this strategy hasn't been profitable. Interesting, isn't it? So move on. For the new candle, which we have got. Okay. Now we've broken above, we wait for the price to come back in. Which doesn't look like it. Prices moved too quickly for it to come back into that range. It's gone. Price is gone. That's fine. Price is gone. I'm not gonna trade this for that day. I'm gonna move on to the following day now. Okay, so I think we've gone a bit too quickly. Let's move back here, mark the daily high, daily low, and we are waiting. There you have it. Okay, so if price was here, you can see price broke above, came back in, but we didn't close. We went back up again, and we're now waiting for a close. So this wouldn't have been an entry. Still not an entry. Now we have got ourselves an entry. Let's do a sell. Stop loss above the high here. And then we are going to go for a 3 to 1. But we need to increase our position size. Go to sell. Yep, that's fine. 6K. There you have it. So let's see what happens. Okay, finally we have got one win. Brilliant. Now we have managed to get our total back down to 6K. We'll move on to the next trade. Let's see what happens. We're not looking to make another trade of the day based on here. We're waiting for a new day to form. We're on close to 25th of November right now. We've got the new day. Brilliant. Okay. There you have it. Now let's see what happens. Okay. Broke underneath. Can we break back up? Okay. Okay, we broke back up now. So we take the trade. Because such a big candle, I'm going to be placing the stop loss just below the previous one there. And then I'm going to go for a 3, 2, 1. Let's just reduce the risk a little bit. Yep, there you go. And then we're going to go for 3, 2, 1. Let's see what happens. Does price come down, take us out? Or does price give us the TP that we're looking for? So far so good. London session. Asia session. Okay. So usually what will happen is if price is around here and we're starting the new day, it's time to close. We're not going to let this run because a new day is formed. So we walk away with whatever profit we got. Well, now it takes the balance to 5K, minus 5K. So let's test it again. We are going to wait for price to break above, and then there you go. Okay, it's broken above. Can you come back in? Not yet. Okay, price is coming. We take the sell, stop loss above the high, and TP. 2K, that's fine. 6K profit. See what happens. Stopped out, no problem. Okay, we're now down 7K. So right now, as of now, we can see that if we had started in November, we got into profit, but then we are kind of trying to recover the account. And what we have also been noticed that the reward to risk, if it's a 1-to-1, it does get hit very frequently. But then if it's a 1-to-1 reward to risk, you need to have a high win rate. Let's wait for the next day. We have done now. Okay. Okay, so didn't quite close above. I wouldn't have taken that particular trade. Let's wait for the next one. Now I would have taken it. Stop loss below. And let's increase it to 2K. Okay, 4. Let's see what happens. Do we get stopped out? Or does it hit TP? Okay, we have hit TP. Brilliant. Now we have recovered the account and it's sitting at 1.1 minus 1.1k. Let's now move on to the next trade. Previous day low, previous day high. Price broke completely above, hasn't come back in. So let's play this and see what happens. Still nothing. We're at the London session now. And so far New York session, nothing has happened. Nothing's happening, and we already passed 420 so far. So I'm not going to take a trade now. I'm just going to wait for the next day to play out. You see the Asian session has kicked in. Now we wait for the high and low to be taken. Okay, now we have to be, even though you can see that's a loss, but we have to be mechanical. We have to take that trade and just see where it goes. So you can see I would have placed it there, but that price obviously stopped us out. So we're now down minus 3.2k. So moving on to the next day. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if in the replay and the back test you are able to do this mechanically, then you shouldn't have any issue when it comes to live trading. There you go. Because you know what to expect. Okay. So let's move on. Let's see if this one is profitable. Right now we're in December the 3rd. Okay. Going up. Okay, now we wait for the reversal to give us one. Yep, it's give it. Oh, no, it hasn't. We're going to wait. What's it giving us? No, he hasn't given us. Oh, it has now. So sell. Let's go for the 1%. Now let's see what we got stopped out again. So now we are down 5.2k. Move on to the next day. You can see that price did fall in the end, but only to take us out and then of course fall. Move on to the next trade. See. Okay, now this one looks like a winner. Of course, I've skipped it too quickly. We're going to do a buy. Stop loss below. I'm going to aim for again 6k. Close enough. Almost got stopped out, but price does climb in the end. And now we are, after being down 12k to recovering it to then being down, and now we are at plus 800. So at this point you might be thinking, well, do I just hop and switch the strategy and move on to another one, because this is mad, going to profit and then going down 12k and recovering. But this is the part of being mechanical. Let's see what happens next if we can actually make some profit. Okay, we've got another trade that just popped up here on the New York session, on the current session, but I'm not going to take that. Not going to take the trade because I only take one trade a day. Let's move on to the next one. And let's see. Okay, nothing as of yet. Just a wick rejection. We don't take that trade based on wick rejection. Wait for a candle close. There you go. And then we close back in. No trade for that day. Move on. Now we wait for the low to be taken or the high to be taken first. Okay, so the low has been taken. Low's been taken. And now we will enter that trade, placing our stop loss under here with a TP. Get to let's get 2K. I'm aiming for a 6K target, which you can see it is quite big, isn't it? We're aiming for that previous day high. Let's see what happens. Let's play this. Just observing for now. Session. Price is hovering. Session. Okay, looks like New York section. Tile. Nothing happening. It's just ranging at the moment. What time is it right now? 21:35. We can see the new day's about to open, so I will just close it here and be happy with what I've got because it's ranging. The new day is about to open up, and you can see the new day actually spiked up, and it hit TP. Great. Spiked up, hit TP. And what I want to also make sure to do is it doesn't meet our criteria because it's wick, so it doesn't meet our criteria. Does it not meet our criteria? The wicked. No, we need a candle close. There, I've got a candle close. Stop loss. We will do 2K. 6K target. Let's see what happens. We are up 2.6K. And we got stopped out. So up 2.6K and we're getting stopped out. So as of now, we are at 9th of December. And still waiting to have a good profitable day. Let's take it again. Let's see what happens. Can it session? Okay, not valid. Valid. Not valid. Not valid. Not valid. That's valid now. So take the short. Stop loss above. Go for a that's fine. And go for close enough 3 to 1. See what happens. Stop loss out again. It's fine. and we just keep going. We've got how many days till the current day? We've got what, 10th of December, and so far it's not been so good on gold at all. Not been very good. Asia session, we have broken above that, can come back down. Okay, let's take the trade. Stop loss above this structure here, because creative structure, if it's just a candle, would have gone above the candle, but it's creative structure, just gonna go there. And then we will go for, again, 2 to 1. Let's see what happens. We've hit target. Now we are finally up 4k. Okay, so we carry on to the next day. I'm thinking to myself that if this was a real funded account, I think walking away 3 to 4k isn't a bad idea. But so far, will this actually pass your challenge account? I can't see it yet, but maybe if you had a few more days. Let's see what happens. The new days here. Push, it's fine. Fell. Stop loss above. And let's go for another sell. Okay. 6k profit. And let's see what happens. Okay. Interesting. So we are now up at 10k, guys. After that gruesome trading experience that we had so far, we are now finally profitable and sitting at 10k. Interesting. Okay, let's move on to next one. I need to get back to the new day. There you go. Day. We go below. Okay, we're below. And wait. Okay, still nothing. Still nothing. The New York session doesn't look like we're going back up. And yeah, the new day started. That's fine. We didn't make anything that day. We had a good day before. And you can see that price broke below, came back in. We can take that trade. Stop loss below. TP. Make sure got the right amount. Fine. We're going for 6k. Okay, we're gonna hit it. Yes, we have hit TP. Now we're up 16k. Okay, interesting. Can we get another 4 more K to pass the funded challenge? We are now at 16th of December. Let's see. Next day. Let me know in the comment section if you find this interesting. For those of you that are still watching this video, thank you. Really helps the channel grow with more people watching, but I hope you're finding it interesting. Okay, now we are at quite a lot of wick rejections there. Can we see a price back in? Let's take that trade. There. Stop loss below. So 6k, aim for that, and let's see what happens. Do we get stopped out or not? Yeah, we get stopped out, that's fine. I did notice that this one met our criteria there, so most like that would have been stopped out. But this one got stopped out, so that is the same as if we were to enter there and then we would stop for the next day. So that's fine. Let's move on to the next day. Okay, sorted, move on to the next day. Can this one trade get us over the mark? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, this has moved away too quickly. Now in Asian sessions, no trade. Didn't meet our criteria. Okay. Next day. To be this one here. Let's see. Nothing as of yet. New York session. Didn't meet our criteria, so we're still not entered the trade. Now we've entered the trade. Stop loss above this high. Now we are going to go for a 3 to 1 to risk. Come on. Can this do it for us? Let's go. Okay, we're going to stop there. Just because we've reached the new day, so we're going to just take with what we got. We just need another 6 more K, and then we will have the funded challenge passed. Okay, closed above, closed down. Take the sell. That would have been a loss there. As you can see, that did meet our criteria, but we would have stopped us out. But I'm taking this one now, and most likely this may well be another loss. Okay, let's find out. No, it's actually interesting. So that one, because it met our criteria, it would have caused us to take a loss trade, and we would obviously miss this one next because price did go up and came back in, but it's managed to pass us. Let's try do another trade, just because I don't feel well walking away with the fact that we would have had a loss and move on to the next day. So let's see what would have happened the following day. Asia session. Session. Okay, no trade. Nothing so far. Yeah, this is gonna be another trade not to take. Can we get this to win or not? Close below? Not yet. Close below, yes. Then we need a reversal. Back to the range. There you have it. Stop loss below. And can we aim for 6k. And let's see what happens. In profit. Okay, so the back test is done, and what we have found is that the win rate is 28.92%, but we have still managed to become profitable. Crazy, right?